Well, welcome back everyone to another episode of Princess of the Apocalypse. This is episode 34. I don't know what's going on anymore. Yeah, that's about it. So, who would like to give me a recap of last week? Oh, I should probably change my camera.
I don't even remember what happened yesterday, let alone last week.
Oh no, that's no bueno.
I suppose I'll do it since I write the notes.
Okay.
So we left the torrents drought in the sun when we were approached by my old Dean Mitrier, or an image of him at the very least, who helped us out by teleporting us back to Red Larch. And it looked like people were setting up for the Winter Solstice Festival. It's getting chilly out. We met a much larger murder face who was happy to see everyone, really. Oh, and he pulls a little sleigh for the kids now. I'm gonna wear away. As far as Torn goes, my skin was getting blue, and I was growing barnacles. So there was some stuff that happened with Hira as well, but I don't want to botch that. So we left for Waterdeep, made it there, and Hira was able to help me with the apparent curse that Torn's under right now. And El Torchel Academy is looking really great. They've opened up to more
There's your hydrate.
less fortunate wards, I suppose. He did give a piece of information, Mature did.
Hi.
Well,
From across the room.
If I remember correctly.
Don't you dare.
I also wrote a little thing about the different cults that we got. I put an X next to Crushing Wave and Black Earth. So 2 down, 3 more to go.
Trace threes? Trace locos?
Yes. They are crazy. That's all I got. Did I miss anything?
No, I think you got it.
Cool.
I don't know why.
Page.
I don't know why it
Wow.
keeps deleting. Dang it! Gosh darn it! Every time I close out Discord, it deletes my Holy shit!
Wow.
It deletes my mute thing. There we go. I got it. Oh, time to set that timer. Okay. So yes, you guys had just gotten some new leads from Mitrier, like Mr. Torin informed. You guys did make it to level 10, and you were set off, or set to go wherever the world may take you. As you kind of wander through the castle ward, the sky begins to get darker as the sun sets, and by the time you make it towards the trades ward and the gates of Waterdeep leading outward, it is damn near nighttime. And the city is still in a hustle and bustle. New crewsmen have come out and are taking up where the other crew left off, setting up for the winter solstice and setting up little trees in the windows and some lights all over, or string lights all over the city. You even see some of the new recruits for the El Torchel Academy walking around and casting some small little fireworks spells up into the sky.
Well, They're adorable.
Two of them seem a little bit more rambunctious, and it is oddly shaped like a something.
Something inappropriate, I'm sure.
A bad dragon.
Watch, that was loud. Yes.
I was a child once.
Get apart.
Thank you for the host. I appreciate it.
It's boring.
All right. So let me go to the map and show where everybody is for a moment. And what do we want to do as you exit the gates into the slopes leading down below Waterdeep?
If I remember correctly, I believe Mitchir gave us a lead that, well, I think you would be familiar with, Zuga.
That I would.
And just for the sake of brevity, Nimbus has been alongside the rest of you the entire time, just kind of sitting off in the background.
Brooding.
And hiccuping.
Doing Nimbus stuff, disappearing like normal.
Of course, of course.
T-posing.
Sliding through the streets like. All right.
How terrifying.
So, I'll bring you to the large map of the area so you can kind of get a understanding of where y'all are. Is this one it? Oh God, that's big.
You can decide.
That's what she
That's
said.
she said.
That's definitely not what she's ever said to me.
We can hope one day, right, Kyle?
We can hope.
I think he's done growing.
Doesn't mean we have to stop hoping.
One Swedish-made penis enlargement pump? That's not mine, baby. That's not my bag, I swear. One copy of this is totally my bag, baby. Okay. So you do have or all of you do have a copy of your map of the Desarian Valley, each with the marked off locations that you've been to before, and I will reveal this area, seeing as Zuya is here. Boop. There you go. So you still are, kind of walking towards the stables on the outside of town where you stored your hippogriffs and Murderface.
I have a black screen.
You have a black screen.
Yeah.
I see the map, but I believe it is.
You gotta put
Straight
your
up?
token on it.
Yeah, let me try this. Boop.
Ah, there we go.
Do you see all of it now?
Yes.
Let me.
He's doing more.
How about now?
I see the map, but it's gray, all grayed out.
I didn't click my token when it was on, so.
Well, if you guys want to just drag your tokens onto the map so you can see it, that will be fine with me.
Okay. I think we'd be down in the corner.
You guys would be coming off of the long road. So yes.
Solid.
Why is it dark? Why'd you change it?
I didn't change anything.
You asked me how about now, and
Well, how about
there. Yes, that's good. Perfect.
like I said, when just drag your token onto the map and you should be able to see it.
I would drag my token. Where do I grab that from?
The journal. What was that name? Nimbus.
I don't think I explained my situation to you guys. I no longer have a laptop, so I'm doing everything on my phone, and it's very scuffed, and it just keeps loading right now.
What happened to your
Okay.
laptop?
It wouldn't let me open anything anymore, and I feel like it just finally just croaked after its long, long
Yikes.
lifespan.
Good thing
Uh-oh.
Christmas is coming up.
Yeah. I've asked multiple times, like, a laptop would be nice, or if you want, just give me the money for it.
Give me a little bit of money towards it.
I deleted your token, Zoya, because we have another token down at the bottom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just kind of zoom out and look down towards the south.
I see it. I was trying to move it down there. It's just my mouse is dumb.
I think I'll
Well,
just be blind for this session.
well,
Can you watch Keega's stream?
Oh yeah, I'll just do that actually. That's a lot better. I almost forgot about that.
Just be careful. There could be delay.
I did try to get rid of the delay, so hopefully that's not that big of an issue anymore.
It's a little bit, but
There's
not bad.
there's always a delay.
I don't
Oh.
watch his channel with the sound on anyway, because it just messes up.
That's not the delay we're talking about. There's just like a delay in the video.
Oh, in the video. Understandable.
And Safari. There we go. Okay. So, like I said, you guys do have your map now. And up to the very north is right on the edge of what you know as the Sword Mountains is the Crypt Garden Forest. Former and current home to Zulia. The location that kind of just fizzles onto your map with a slight like kind of purple sparkle, and then etches itself into the map is that place slightly to the north east of the Crypt Garden called the Black Maw Bog. And that is one of the area that seems to have had some sort of disturbance. And at this point, as you guys kind of look over and you're walking, you do make it to the stables where you left Hippogriffs and Murderface. And when you first arrived, the stable master was, behind his desk and yeah, business as usual. At this point, when you approach later in the evening, he is huddled on the outside of his stables with the door shut and just kind of eyes wide. And as he sees you guys approach, he kind of stands up and runs towards Boris and puts his hands on like kind of grabs him by the breastplate and he's like, "What the hell did you bring me? That wasn't a hippogriff."
No, that's my baby.
"That's no baby."
That's Murderface. Yeah, he's a baby. I raised him. That's my boy.
Why do you think it's a good idea to put him in a stable?
He's okay. Don't worry about him.
He's scared every one of the horses I had out.
Well, horses are kind of skittish little bunch.
He's gonna kind of put his hands in his face and just... I'm gonna need a bigger stable if you keep coming back.
Well, maybe you should just get to know
I don't
Wanna
want
come-
to.
You want to come give him some pets? You want me to give you some kisses? Come here.
He
I'm gonna like start playing with Murderface.
he's gonna look at you utterly shocked. Like, how do you play with that thing?
How do you not? He's so sweet.
Play peekaboo.
He's gonna look at Hira and like, I don't want to take my eyes off of him.
Worst he'll do is lick you.
I don't think that's the worst he could
I
do.
mean, he could do a lot worse.
It's not the
but
worst he can
he
do. I'm saying it's the worst he will do, unless given an order to do something worse.
Even that's pretty bad.
Ugh. I
Like
no.
he likes ag.
No, I don't think that's a good idea. That I've seen these things fly away with horses and carriages attached.
We're just gonna start playing peekaboo with Murderface.
Roll an animal handling check for me. With advantage. He is thrilled to be playing peekaboo. And at one point, whenever you go back to, hide your face, you get tackled to the ground. And covered with slimy, foul-smelling breath licks.
Oh, here you can want a bath.
Yummy.
I'm sorry.
This is my bath. We've been traveling all day.
Yeah.
Stunning, but disgusting as well.
Yeah,
Well, in that case, Murderface would be happy to enjoy some more licks because those natural sweats. He loves them.
have you seen what Murderface is yet, Nimbus?
I don't think I have.
Oh no.
All right, let's pull this thing up for you.
Lives up to his name.
Oh, a big boy.
Yeah,
I see.
very big. Yeah, handsome boy. And just for size,
Oh god.
that's absolute full grown. He's still got some
Oh,
time.
no. Oh my god.
Is Nimbus pissing himself yet?
Absolutely not.
What's the CR rating on a Manticore, by the way? But are they a beast though?
They are a monstrosity.
Oh, okay. So it couldn't turn into one. Never mind.
But it is level 3.
I can't turn into it though.
Yeah.
That would be cool though. Could you imagine the smile on Murderface's face if I could turn it into one and play with him as one?
That'd be so cute.
Imagine a manticore smiling.
As you say this,
I
Torin,
could see
He's already smiling.
him smiling if he had a friend his size that could play with him like that.
as you say this, Torin, he kind of turns at you and gives you a toothy grin.
Oh, it's like that cat in Alice in Wonderland.
Cheshire.
Yeah, it's like the Cheshire cat, dude.
I'm gonna Misty step the fuck out of there. He doesn't look intent to pounce, does he? Just understanding enough to make me uncomfortable.
His tail is wagging ferociously.
What are you looking for?
Me?
Yes.
Stuff.
Okay.
You snooping on his stream?
Yes.
Yes.
I can only see the map if I'm on his stream, so.
Well, I'm looking at it because I was looking at Murderface again. And now he's got me interested.
I'm just looking for stuff.
So yeah,
What
I
the
think he
hell
shared
is
it.
this?
It might be shared with us somewhere, Murderface, isn't he? Manticore?
probably.
Yeah.
He's somewhere in here.
Yes, Thorin?
Ooh.
Well, yeah, since we're heading up towards the crypt garden, why don't you tell us a bit about it? I think I might know the least about you here.
Not true.
Probably.
We all know equally little about
Less
Julia.
little about me.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think we all know about the same nothing about the
I don't really share much. I am. I don't really tend to share because it's not really secret, but it's I don't know. I don't want to say it's trust issues because I obviously put my life next to yours and have no trouble doing so. But being in the Druid Order, there's a lot of secrets that are there. So sometimes it's hard to describe these things and share. Um, and it's a huge chunk of my life. I live the Druid way, so it's hard to share that much about me. Um, I think after we check out this disturbance, I think it's better to show you than to describe for you. I think your teacher made that plainly clear that it's better for us to meet with the Enclave, the circle, than to just bypass it.
Bypassing was never the intention.
I
Just
know,
gathering information.
I just meant that it's definitely a better idea for you to meet everybody than for me to just describe it from my angle. Does that make sense?
It does. I've never much studied druidic circles before, so this will be a first.
We don't tend to share very often. Like our language, only another druid can understand our language. There is no other way for anyone to ever understand the druidic language. So it's hard to let that go. So it's the fact that the fact that we are sharing things openly makes me feel better. This group, you are my friends. At first, this group was a mission, a job, a quest. But it became so much more than that. And it's become bigger than the original group it was meant to be. And I am glad the elders have opened up and that I can bring you to my home.
I'm sure we all look forward to seeing it.
I hope so. I hope I don't want to build it up and have you be disappointed. It's where I grew up. That's where I learned what little I know. And that's all I could tell you without either making you disappointed when you actually get there. I don't want to either build it up or not. I don't want to build it up and have you be disappointed when you get there. Is my biggest fear.
The anticipation is killing me. So I think it's best we be off.
I think you're right.
All in agreement? All right. Nimbus?
No complaints here.
Hira.
No.
Excellent. Well, I'll go ahead and mount my hippogriff. Zuya, lead the way.
Alrighty.
So, taking off, you know that the road back is going to take about a day and a half for you to get back to Red Larch, from following the path directly, especially at the speed at which your winged mounts can carry you. So, do you fly straight through the day? You're leaving at about, or kind of early evening. Do you keep flying straight through till the next sunfall?
Certainly, Torin has the copies of this, but if anyone else would like to stop and camp,
I
That'd
think
be
till the
fine.
next. I think till the next nightfall would probably be best, and then we camp. Then get a rest. Whoever needs to do spells and prepare for the next morning is probably the best idea.
sounds fine to me.
Do we get pee breaks?
Oh, of course.
Just aim off the hippogriff. Whatever.
I can't aim, especially not in this armor.
Not with that attitude, Hira.
Right? I'm sure your armor has.
Hi, Hannah.
It just warms your armor up.
Device.
Welcome to the
No, when we're in a
party.
dungeon for 12 hours, I just piss myself.
Exactly. That's what you should be doing on the back of the hippogriff.
Is that what that smell is?
Charming.
It was a joke.
Mm.
We doing
We'll
good.
be in
We
the-
doing
I don't think
good.
it's a joke,
We'll be in the
Torin.
middle of a dungeon for, like several days, and here just has to find a good 30 minutes to take off her armor, pee, and put it back on.
Yeah, it'd be like, hey,
Torin,
don't worry,
have you
Gillette.
ever seen her do that? Take an hour to go
Listen,
pee?
we don't talk about it, but it happens.
Yeah,
Have
we
you
all
ever
form a
seen her take
defensive
an
wall.
hour to go pee, Torin? I haven't.
Well, generally, me and Boris try to line it up together. That way, because we both have to take off our armor. That way, we don't have to,
Yeah, we're
waste
synced.
even more time.
He doesn't have to take off his whole armor.
Yeah, well, I just whip open the cod piece,
Did armor back then have like a flap down there for this kind of thing?
Not a flap, but it had a separate piece so they could take that off so they
Mhm.
could go.
Yeah, but that's for guys. I don't think they were so
Yes,
accommodating
exactly.
for women.
No,
Yes, that's
there.
why it would take you an hour to go, and him about 15 minutes.
Well, also because there were very few women that
Wore armor.
Right.
Yeah, I know.
But the thing, like in the case of like Joan of Arc and anything like that, she had her armor like specifically made for herself, especially
so-
once she got, notoriety.
Yeah, since this armor was a
But
gift,
she was also,
I would hope that it was made with Hira in mind.
Well, yes, it would have been, but it still would take you. You'd have to strip down
we're
your
really
lower half
debating.
of armor.
I love where this conversation's gone.
Maybe Hira's got an emergency flap.
So here's the thing that I don't understand is
I'm talking real
women
armor. But okay.
women actually use the restroom?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Kyle, but women do.
Yeah,
And
What?
only
Guess
pee,
what?
though.
Wait! I got one better, Kyle. They fart.
No.
Listen, if you give
They
me
do. I've heard
might be-
it.
if you wait a couple minutes, I might be able to get one on a mic.
I don't know if we want proof, man.
Wait.
That'll kill Kyle.
Please,
kill
This
him.
just became an episode of Thumbtack.
please let it be like one of those balloons or the rubbing a balloon like I did last session.
So you admit it. That wasn't the chair. You lied.
But
I'll
no,
admit
I
it
was,
now. Yes.
I was speaking strictly from a actual armor aspect. So, but technically speaking, you would have to strip down your lower armor half, and there's actually hooks on your waist, so you might have to take off more than just your bottom
Well,
half.
I typically have a drum help me, but one of you guys is gonna have to volunteer.
Okay.
I will
I'm sure.
voluntarily
I'm
exempt
sure
myself.
we'd adventure enough that I'm sure one of us would help you anyways.
All right.
As a blacksmith, I know how your armor works, so don't worry.
Yeah. And we would have seen a drum help you enough that we would understand that point.
All right.
Anyway,
Good tangent.
So, flying through the day, you do, just so this for the sake of sparing or the staving off exhaustion, you do land as the sun begins to set, and you are back into the Dasarian Valley, approximately where your tokens have landed, and the first thing as you break into the Dasarian Valley, you do see a small town that formerly was dark at this time at night, now once again lit extravagantly for the winter solstice, and right before or a little to the south of this town in the mountains is where you see the now bright blue glowing water of the plunging torrents just kind of wading softly, and you can kind of look down into the caverns themselves as you're flying over, and everything seems to have returned to a peaceful state, and as you land and begin setting up camp, I need all of you to make me a perception check.
oh shit.
And
If I did it on D&D Beyond, would you be able to see it, or do I have to actually
Yeah.
like go in and type it?
let me make
I feel like
it a little easier for you. Let me pull up your sheet on D&D Beyond, and if there's any rolls, then I'll just ask your permission to roll it.
Oh, okay.
Because I've got everything open up on my end, so.
Sweet.
I've got 3 monitors again. One of them's a piece of shit, but, Alright. Perception. An 11.
Better than I did, and I have a +5.
So, Boris, you're really the only one that notices this, but as you guys set up camp, you do see what looks to be some ruins of a building that used to stand several stories high, but now no longer.
That might be worth investigating. I'm gonna let everyone know about it and say, hey guys, I want to check this out. Maybe find some shelter there, or some possible dangers.
Well, Boris, I am a sucker for old ruins. What's the harm?
Tom, are you typing in the chat bar? Because I swear every 20 seconds it says that you're typing something.
No, it's when I hit my push stop.
Oh, okay.
I think that's a very adventurous idea, Boris. It's a shame I didn't notice it sooner.
Maybe there'll be some ghosts for us to fight.
Oh, Hopefully not.
Or at least a place to weather out the night.
All right.
About how far away were these ruins?
To give you an approximate distance, the town of Amphale is no more than about 60 yards away from where you guys are setting up camp, and this ruin is probably about a mile and a half. And at this point, Torrent, you begin to hear some whispers in the back of your head that surge into an actual vocalization, and it's a sending spell. You're receiving contact from a someone that describes themselves as a member of the Emerald Enclave. And noticing your party flying over, and he wishes for you to meet in the local inn of Anfell.
Where's Amphil?
Just south of where you guys have started setting up camp.
And how would you spell that? Info?
It's more like Amphile.
Oh.
There you go. A-M-P-P or A-M-P-H. Amphale. Amphale.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. Cool. Concerning.
Yeah, Hannah, it was
Is there
awful.
any knowledge that I could roll, or anything I could roll to find if I know anything about the Emerald Enclave?
Emerald Enclave, that would be a history check, and any of you wants to ascertain more about the Emerald Enclave, feel free to do so, and roll me a history check, and
And I, again, would totally let everyone know that, receiving a message.
and okay. So
Almost got a nat 22.
I got a nat 1. Does that help?
Yes, you're being very helpful here.
Totally helpful. Hey, your
Take
1
everything I
and my
say-
21
oh wait,
gave
you
me
have
a nat
advantage.
20. I'm just saying.
Take everything Hira says and assume the opposite is true.
Of course.
Okay. So both Nimbus or I rolled just to see if I could get everything to work. With your time in this area, it would be a little. The Emerald Enclave is something that you haven't really quite heard about. However, Torin and Zuya know quite a bit. So, starting with Torin, you do know that the Emerald Enclave is a faction within all of Faerun that has, delegates throughout the entire area, doing menial, anywhere from menial tasks for different different towns or provinces inside of the area, to even minor investigations. They mainly consist of those with magical prowess. You would typically find those who are good with musical talent, such as bards. You could even find some with some arcane prowess, but mostly you would find anyone that is like skilled in nature, druids, hunters, or rangers, or even spellsters that have a proclivity for nature spells. They typically just kind of go through the area helping out, or different areas helping where they can. And with Zoya, you have a little bit more like actual connection with the Emerald Enclave, as technically at this point you are a delegate of them.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah, I knew that name sounded familiar.
Mm-hmm. You work for your main bosses of your circle, but the request that sent you out of your circle to join back with this party was from the Emerald Enclave. And once again, you or just kind of pulling off that your prior roles, you do know Amphale is kind of a border town to the southern or the westernmost part of the Forlorn Hills that separates the Dasarian Valley from the rest of Faerun. And it's a small town that, like I said, if you fly or if you're flying over it or you're walking through it in the dead of night, you won't even know you passed it. There's a rough population or a small population, mainly a small or outstretched farming community, with just one large inn as its staple. So, with that information,
I relay the details about Amphale, and then, or does Torin tell us about the Emerald Enclave?
Yeah, you would be better off than me.
Well, I mean, did you tell us that you got a message from someone from the Emerald Enclave? Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Well, I am a delegate of the Emerald Enclave. So this is interesting. I don't know why they contacted you and not me, and then I relay the information about the town and that it's a small town and all that information.
I'm not even sure how they contacted me. You have to be familiar with someone to use a sending spell.
Perhaps you've an admirer amongst them.
Nimbus,
Them.
I've got many admirers.
Maybe they know you from your days at the count.
that only
Whatever
feed
it
account.
is. Ah, yes. Back in the day.
Maybe they have some current information about what's happening up north.
Perhaps. At any rate, I believe it would be a good chance to learn something new. However, I would like to investigate these ruins first. We've already taken the trouble to make it all the way out here.
Yes.
We can add that to our itinerary.
All right.
So meet them, then ruins, or is that the plan?
Oh, ruins.
Ruins, then meet them?
Mm-hmm.
What's up?
Kyle.
Kyle.
Yeah, I actually enjoy this. She's just across the room, so all we gotta do is be like, "Hi!" But, all right. So, do you wish to fly or do you wish to walk?
So these are ruins of a building that used to be tall.
From the kind of shadow that the moonlight is giving at the moment, you do see that it was, or Boris did notice off in the distance that it looked like a crumbling building. Yes, it stood, from his perspective, at least 2 to 3 stories. But with it being so far away, it's unable to, or he's unable to completely ascertain how many floors it was. But yes,
And you said we're about a mile away,
yeah, give or take.
give or take.
We should probably fly just to get this done quicker, because we don't know how long the Enclave is going to wait. I'd rather not keep them waiting.
I still don't
enough.
know who these people are. I'm just going with you guys, I guess.
We'll
I
meet them
mean,
soon
me
enough.
hearing her natty one staring off in the distance. What?
Just enjoy your pudding, Hira.
All right.
We'll meet them soon enough.
I love this, by the way. I got
Are we killing one?
No,
What?
no,
I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
no killing.
a little bit of
Nice.
pudding kind of is on
Nice,
on her cheek.
Yes.
Did you both miss the part where I am a delegate of the Emerald Enclave?
Hero rolled a nat 1.
But I told you that I'm a delegate of them.
She was too busy trying to figure
You're
out. she was-
distracted by pudding. Hello.
No. Hira and Boris were talking about how they don't know shit and why. And they're like, "This is what we need." They were having their own conversation while you guys actually talked about the relevant stuff.
That sounds
Nimbus is
about.
the only one paying attention.
Yeah, so Nimbus is there, like, actually paying attention to the real conversation. You got Hira and Boris, off to the side going, "Yeah, but how do you
Banging their
pee?
helmets with hammers.
How can we pee faster out
Clang,
of the
clang, 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 clang.
UP.
It's like, oh man, it's like in Friends when the bubble wrap around the head and they just keep punching Joey in the head.
Yep.
It's like that. Okay, let's continue.
All right.
I
European.
almost said it.
I said it.
He wasn't gonna make me.
That
So-
This is funny.
That'd be a good character name.
Oh my God, no, please.
If I name my character that, will you let me play him?
As long as you name him like something along the lines of like to finish off the phrase like European in oh my alley or something like that.
Okay, here's this. You name my character, if you let me play him.
That's not how it works, Ed.
Zuya's got.
I just no. He can retire and come back later. I just want to test. I just want to test this character.
We'll talk about this after the session, and let me give it some thought.
Okay.
Because I do want to make everybody, or I do want everybody to enjoy this. So
No,
But-
I just honestly, I just want to test it's a Hexblade Warlock. I just want to play test it basically.
oh God,
What?
we would have 2 warlocks in the party.
So
I'm just saying.
you have a ranged Warlock and a Hexblade Warlock.
Yeah, and Adram has started multi-classing, so
Yeah. Have you played with the Hexblade Warlock yet?
yeah. I have
They're pretty
another.
nasty, aren't they?
I have one in my Curse of Strahd campaign.
They're pretty nasty.
So are we allowed to just like start playtesting other classes now?
No, I'm just thinking. You can build as many characters as you want, but we'll see what happens. I've got to figure out how Zoya dies first.
Oh, we're just killing off characters since we can make new characters now. I mean,
Yeah, Hira commits kombucha.
Tyr isn't talking to her, so she suicides. Tyr, take this sacrifice.
All right. So,
Anywho.
after about a 45 Oh my God, Boris. After about a 45-minute walk,
I thought we were
Wait.
flying.
did you decide to fly?
Yes.
Okay, so it's literally a 5-minute flight. Yeet. Quickly packing up your stuff, and which takes about 15 more minutes, and or what you did unpack already, and another 5-minute flight. You begin to be able to see this what's left of a manor. It sits kind of so what's left of this manor stands on a small steep-sided wooded hill just east of the long road, with a large carriage drive opening off the caravan road just south of the hill, and climbing its southern side to curve around and approach the back of the manor, um, the back of the manor house to the east. And as you get closer, you're able to see more. And on the surface where the manor once stood are heaps of fallen stone, and the tumbled lines of walls, which form a T-shaped outline, with two rectangular wings thrusting north and south of an enormous east-west rectangular room. This room has 3-floor high remnants of walls, in two places clinging to the soaring stone chimney. It looks like it would have been a very impressive hall. And if I can get who's local to the area, Zuya and Torin, kinda.
It's enough, I think.
Zuya, give me a history check, please.
I already wasted my 20. See?
So
Jinxed yourself.
you get
Trying to join Boris and here in the corner.
you this place kind of strikes a chord in your memory, and you've heard of it before. Just the name kind of escapes you, and it's been in this state for about 15 to 30 years at this point. And as you're kind of thinking under it, pondering over it, once again the name kind of escapes you, and you're getting Rundorf, Runediff, Rune Differential, Rune Doof.
Incorporated.
Oh my gosh. So that's kind of what you get out of it. And upon landing and kind of inspecting the ruins just a little bit more, I'll give you a little bit more information. And once again, landing and kind of walking, or do you guys want to actually enter and kind of walk through the ruins?
Wouldn't mind.
Yeah, of course. I'm interested. I want to see what this place is all about.
Okay.
I'm sure Murderface would like to see too.
He fits pretty easily on the or into the broken ceiling. However, the hippogriffs are a little iffy about entering this area. They get a very weird vibe. They don't seem to want to get any closer than the entryway to where the carriage drive kind of opens up into the driveway of the let's see. The two wings of the manor are fallen stones and basically forest now. The bits of flagstone can be seen among the bushes and the trees growing in the feast hall. And with the flagstones within 10 feet of the top stairs are loosely or laid loosely atop flimsy boards and concealed dirt. And as you're walking around above on this, you do have a bit of a shake. And if you guys want, you can continue looking around. And like I said, I've kind of described the area. Just kind of give me an idea of what you're looking for. And
I would very much like to, sorry, just continue looking. I don't know if investigation is anything that I should be making note of. I do have a pretty high passive.
what is your passive investigation?
19.
Wow.
Yeah,
That
it's
is
big.
high. Holy shit.
So,
Torin is smart.
Yeah, I have a passive perception of 17, investigation of 15 as well.
okay. So, what's the rest of y'all's passive investigation?
Mine's a 12. Oof.
Passive investigation, or do you mean passive wisdom?
Passive investigation.
How do you see passive investigation?
That's under your saving throws.
Mm-hmm.
A mechanic that
This-
I'm very much not familiar with, the whole passive
Invest-
system.
What?
Yeah, it
Under
literally
your
just
saving throws, there's 3 things. It's passive perception, passive investigation, and passive insight.
yeah,
If you're
That.
if you're
You
looking
sh-
at your full sheet.
yeah on D&D Beyond underneath your saving throws.
D&D
Yeah,
Beyond.
yeah,
Oh,
Oh, sorry.
I was looking at my thing on Roll20 and I was just like, what? I'm
yeah,
like, I don't see anything.
I am confused.
I
Sorry.
just thought I was
D&D
dumb.
Beyond.
and
Oh,
then
my passive investigation is a 10.
okay.
Nimbus has 17 for passive.
Mm-hmm. So, mm,
Why is everybody else's passive so high? Mine are shit.
Right?
probably because or Nimbus, they're based off of your intelligence or wisdom, and
I have shit for both.
right, and Torin has amazing intelligence, and so does Nimbus. So
Tom, what was your passive investigation?
15.
Oh, yeah, his is. What's your intelligence? Or did it get bumped because of your one of your skills?
My intelligence is 12. I have no idea. I got bumped.
fighters typically have a decent passive trait,
Oh, okay.
but
Yeah, because I have a 15 in intelligence.
so continuing your starting from the doorway into the ruins of this manor, Hira, you're the first to notice that the dirt is loosely packed into leading into this area, and you do notice a set of or 7 sets of footprints leading in, but there are no exit, and these seem relatively almost like a month old. Torin and Boris, as you kind of begin looking around and noticing the floor creaks louder in different areas, you begin to surmise that there was more underneath. So beginning to kind of rummage through. The two of you are quickly able to spot a piece or a large section of the floor that is only held together by these stones that have just been kind of meticulously placed through the area. And as you begin to move them, the floorboards begin to fall away, revealing a large and deep hole.
I knew it. We should have met with the Enclave first.
We really want to be messing with this currently. Should we not meet with the Enclave, tell them that there's a large hole in the fucking ground, and, maybe they can do something about it?
Well, real quick, we don't exactly know how deep the hole goes. We just can't see the bottom. Could I
That's deep enough.
swat a brick into the hole and this?
Obviously, people have traversed into this hole.
So,
Kept it hidden.
falling, or as you kind of kick one of the smaller stones into the ravine. It falls for about 5 seconds before you hear it clatter to a stony surface on the bottom.
An adventure for another time, perhaps?
Everyone's a peak
Why?
in
We're already here.
curiosity.
There, whatever we do is have to be now because there's no way we can put the stones back there. Whoever's here won't know that we were here.
Are you worried that someone will come back this way? I'm confused.
Looks like they took some trouble to hide this, if that's the case.
And the tracks most definitely are not fresh.
Can we tell what kind of footprints they are? Like general size? Are they
Make me a survival check. They're humanoid.
Yeah.
alright? Smaller or larger than my feet?
I know you have
Mm,
some pretty
They're
big
large, man.
feet.
definitely large or smaller than yours.
Is everyone making a survival check?
If you're looking at the
I don't think we
footprints.
need to, honestly. Do we all need to, honestly? Do we need to compare foot sizes?
Unless you want to.
You know
What
what
a
they
weird
say
night.
about
We're talking
big
about how we're
feet.
peeing, and we're talking
And
about
now
how
we're talking about foot
peeing,
sizes?
We're
Oh, well,
hanging on
whatever.
our feet.
Whatever's going on over there, I'll be keeping my boots on.
I was gonna say an easy solution would be to throw down a rope and see if 50 feet of rope touches the bottom.
I think that would
How
be
are you
more
gonna
than
know
enough.
it touches the bottom?
Well,
You can tie a rock to it and hear it when it lands.
Didn't we just do that? It was about 5 seconds down.
smart.
Yeah, I know, but with 50 feet of rope, we'll be able to tell if it touches the bottom.
But we heard a rock touch the bottom.
Yeah, I know, but we don't know if it's more or less than 50 feet. We just know it took 5 seconds for it to land.
I say we give it a shot.
Boris is just tying a rock to a rope. And
He's just gonna do it anyways.
All right, Boris.
Yeah,
Down the hole.
I'm launching the rock down. With my rope tied.
Would it not be better to use something that emits light to see down the hole instead of using another rock?
Do we still have the drift globe?
I would say a drum gifted or left it to you.
Okay. I'm not sure if it would fall. It tends to follow. But as long as we know the rock hits the bottom, I will volunteer to go down and see for myself.
Hero would actually prefer if she could go down first.
As long as someone's making a decision.
No, Hero go down first.
What could we tie the rope to?
There's still a large stone chimney that seems adequately anchored to the floor or to the ground.
That looks sturdy enough, Boris.
All right. Yeah, we can probably put a pin into it and tie it into place. Yeah, get it right in there. I'm gonna hammer that in and tie it up.
All right, Hera.
Down we go.
I'll give her a mock salute.
She'll return it.
Okay. So I'm not going to need you guys to make any checks because you guys kind of you expertly navigate or tie a rope down and climb down. It seems like all of you are pretty skilled at handling rope at this point. Making your way, first off, as Boris anchors the rope and throws it down, it falls, and then once again, a few seconds later, you hear it hit a stony surface, indicating that you had about 50 feet of rope. You used about 5 to 10 feet to tie it, and the very edge of it just kind of hits the ground. So that gives you an idea that it's about a 40-foot climb. Making your way down. As soon as your feet begin to touch the surface of this ground, there's a sensation of sadness, and that kind of fills each of you. And purveying it, or you're standing inside of a very dark and dim chamber. Does anybody have dark vision?
I do.
Okay. So, inside, or you're able to see just barely the edges, like you're standing kind of off to the center of the room, and you're able to see the edges of this room, the side walls of this room, but the ends kind of disappear into the darkness. The drift globe that you have, what's the radius of it? How much light does it emit in the radius?
No idea. The drum has it.
It should be in all your...
I'm lighting a torch as well.
Okay.
It's a 20-foot radius.
A drift globe has. Oh, it emanates light or daylight as a spell. So, it's a light spell.
Should be about 60 feet.
Light as a cantrip is 20 feet.
20 feet.
So, bright light for 20 feet and then dim light for 20 feet.
Okay. So, standing in this room with your torch and now the drift globe, once again, the room kind of disappears on all sides in blackness, kind of giving you the inkling that it's a lot larger than 20 feet. And kind of using the echo of your footfalls as you land, you get kind of the idea that it could be around or larger than 50 feet to either side, and longer than that as well. And as you guys are standing underneath the kind of shimmering moonlight that kind of cascades down into this hole, dimly at this point with you being so low, you feel the air kind of shimmer and swirl right on the edge of the torchlight, and a female figure steps into the light. She appears to be a very dark-skinned, ashen skin, with blood red eyes, with white hair and long, flowing black robes. Most of you would recognize her as a drow. And she kind of steps into the area.
That's a rare sight.
Drow.
Taking a step closer, She kind of brings her arms out to her side, lifting the hem of her robe, and gives you a slight curtsy and welcome to the Rundreth Manor. Now, why have you disturbed me down here?
I'd like to return the curtsy. Will it be a bow?
It would be a bow for you.
It would be a bow for you. Please. Torin,
Like
do
this
not
one.
curtsy.
Nimbus curtsies anyway. Fuck you.
Um,
Here does bow.
I'm not sure if we should let Hira talk or not, given that she is a she.
Pardon my...
What's that supposed to mean?
Drow culture.
Hero looks confused and kind of offended.
Never mind.
explanations for later time, but she does kind of look over to, or she looks to Boris, Torin, Nimbus, and Zuya, and I did not know that I was going to be having, visitors this day. You may call me the Dark Lady. Now, what may I call you?
My name is Hira.
Hera?
Or
Torin?
Boris Petrov.
Boris Petrov. Glancing at the other two.
You may call me the bear.
Ah, the bear. Rather fitting. And then finally at Nimbus, it's like, oh, aren't you dressed for such the occasion?
He kind of like lifts up his hands and gives one of those like theater bows. He's like, Sir Zankir at your service.
Ah, pleasure to make your acquaintance. And once again, pardon my abrasiveness in the question, but what brought you here? Why have you... She's gonna kind of look up towards the ceiling and come all this way to see me.
It looked like a very interesting building, and it seemed to entice me. I wanted to come here.
if we're being completely honest, we are a curious bunch and had no idea that anyone was living here. Not to say that it looks uninhabitable, just that we did not see any signs of surface life.
So there's just curiosity brought you here? You're not with that bunch from Oso or from a little while ago?
No, absolutely not.
I'm afraid I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, no clue. We're fresh new to the area passing through.
Did that bunch cause you any trouble?
Well, more like a disturbance than trouble.
I
You
take
see-
it you're not one to be disturbed.
No, Mr. Torin, I am not. Especially those wishing nothing but favors, with no manners as you such have. Now, however, they did bring some some things to my attention that have been happening in the world above. And you see, they kind of left a nasty taste in my mouth. And I'm curious. You say you're not with them, but I get the feeling you may know more than you let on. You
What
see,
do they want?
there was a group of 7 individuals, clad in black robes with iconography.
It
They
does sound like a style of dress that is
Sounds like a
interesting
cult.
to me, but I don't dress like that. Neither do my friends.
Nimbus kind of like sweating in the background, like, oh man, I don't know them, do I?
now, and they came.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but can you describe the iconography that they bore?
They were various. Some had a red symbol etched onto the back of their robes. Shaped somewhat like. Here, let me. Because it's been so long, I'm gonna pull it up for myself.
Okay.
I'm gonna whisper over to Torin. I think
I wouldn't.
I thought it's the fucking cultist.
That's why.
Potentially.
And
Let's hear
Mm.
answer any questions if we can.
they're very geometric in styling. Red, almost like a bowl. An X, almost as if an hourglass. In blue,
Those bastards.
a pyramid in a dark beige, and an upside down triangle, almost like a dagger, in a bright, brilliant blue. And they seem to want my aid.
Sounds like some of the cultists we've been running into.
That have wanted nothing but destruction of the world for their own gain.
You want destruction of the world, lady? Hira squints her eyes at this drow.
She's going to as you mention the cultists, her snowy white eyebrows are going to raise, and she's going to glance towards Hero. And as you finish your statement, she's, "No, I wish to just be left alone in my slumber with..."
Can I do an insight check?
Go for it.
Oh, weird.
Oof, nice.
Nice. And go against. Okay. So she is not telling you everything, but from what she told you, it seems to be genuine.
Hira's gonna keep her eyes narrowed suspiciously, making it very clear she doesn't quite trust her, but she accepts the most recent statement.
Now, I haven't seen anyone else since they last came to my chambers now, but I did teach them in blood to not return. And as she says that, she's going to kind of lift her hand, and some a torch sconce to the east wall is going to kind of flare up slightly, and you see the chewed remains of 7 individuals, tattered clumps of bone and cloth just kind of thrown against the wall. And she will lower her hand, and the sconce will fade back into blackness.
That was dramatic.
Well, I was going to ask if you needed our help to get rid of them, but I see you took care of that yourself.
Right.
Well, we do not wish to bother you anymore. You have us obviously taken care of your problem. We will get out of your hair and let you go back to sleep.
She's
Yes.
gonna raise her hand and, well, you've already made your journey down here, and maybe you can give me a little bit more information.
We can try.
Would be more than happy to have a
And-
conversation with you. I think we all would.
Quid pro quo and all of that.
Boris is really interested in her.
So you wish to exchange information? I tell you, you
Well-
tell me?
Technically, you have already shared with us, so the least we could do is try our best to share with you.
Okay.
Before
Oh.
we continue, can I ask a question about the Dark Lady?
Just
Sure.
Oh, I thought
Oh,
Corin
God.
was raising his hand.
Yeah, I was gonna
The,
say.
Is it? Could I roll something to? Because I'm not sure if it's normal for Drow to have red eyes.
You can roll an Arcana check.
Okay.
So, as you're kind of looking through and looking her up and down, and you do recognize this as an illusionary projection.
So is she not actually here then?
I thought it was just for the eyes.
Or she might not even be a drow.
That's curious.
I wish Torn was dramatic enough to go, show yourself, fiend!
Oh. And get rid of our knowledge.
We can do that after.
Hmm.
Now,
So
so,
not just the eyes, but the whole form.
mm-hmm.
Okay.
You
I'm not gonna
recognize it
change my
quickly as a major image.
major image. Okay.
Meanwhile, Boris is offering his service to help eliminate any threats
What
that come
kind
nearby.
of service?
Dun dun dun.
Will try to keep my composure. I don't want to alert anyone yet.
Now,
I'm offering to repair the area upstairs, the floorboards, and replace it with something better.
Here's bursting to pull a Suramar and go, what are you hiding?
We did offer a conversation with her, so I think that's the least,
At least we can
do.
start with.
Hmm.
Game on.
so if we do wish to trade information, might as well, as a good show of good faith, I'll let fill you or start the exchange. The 7 that I met before, let me or filled me in that, of course, and some of this information I already knew, which is one reason why I'm here, but most of these people have taken up residence in various shrines built by ancient dwarvish cultures far underneath the Desarian Valley. And this spot specifically was not of dwarven make, but of drow make. One only known as Besilma. In fact, this is the entryway to Bessemer, and one reason why I take my residence here. And they have an understanding of what power lies beneath this area. And they sought to claim it for themselves. What do you
They
know
were
of these
very-
cults that you speak of?
They seemed very power hungry. That fits their MO as far as I understand it. That they would be very power hungry and that they would seek everything no matter what. Sound right to you guys?
Torin, you would be better to explain. You understand the power that they wish to claim better than I think any of us could explain.
And what was her exact question?
She gave you a bit of information that you may not have known. She wants to see if you can give her information that she may not know about these
Wants to know about the
cults.
cults.
Mm,
What do we know about them?
They were very vague and not very forthright with their purpose.
well,
I mean, Hira could talk, but she might not hold back things she should. I don't know.
seems between you and us that this group is collecting artifacts of sorts, trying to blend together the different planes, I would assume.
Using the artifact of Devere, You see, centuries ago, an old drow named Vizeran Devere used the power of each shrine underneath this land to make 4 elemental weapons. And she's gonna kind of look at Torin and look him up and down, and it seems you hold one of them. Tell me,
If I do.
does it work?
That depends on what function you're asking of.
He claimed that it was connected to the extraplanar,
Ah,
to the
Yeah.
prophets they spoke of.
We all have had firsthand experience seeing this particular artifact in action. So I believe Vizeran's creations do still work.
Well, we know one of them is
Interesting.
safe.
Safe.
Well, 2 if you count the one we're holding.
I take that as all hydras.
You have a keynote.
We drow live for quite a long time, and these eyes have seen quite a few things.
I take
No.
it. Oh, pardon me.
You go ahead.
Is it just you in this section?
It
Sure,
is.
seems a bit big.
It's just I. Where I have been lying for almost a century, undisturbed for until about a month ago. And what was that, Nimbus?
Can you roll insight check
Go for
on
it.
her? Sweet. Or could you roll it, or do you want me to actually do it?
I gotcha.
He got you, boo.
14. So, with that, to okay,
Remember something about her.
it's a half truth.
Hmm.
There is possibly more. Now, I will, and again, this group that ventured down here before offered to make an alliance, but I do not deal well with others. I typically like to stay by myself and keep to myself.
Sounds like a drum.
Noted.
However, I did let a few escape. However, those I allowed
You
to
said 7 came down here, and then you showed us 7 bodies. Were you lying?
No, clearly she meant like previously or something.
There may have been more above. 7 came down, but it seems as if there were more above. And those
Mhm.
that I allowed to go away were obviously disappointed. Well, disappointed once the terror wore off, I suppose.
Ha! We can continue that terror with them if you'd like. Something I enjoy.
A wicked smile is going to cross her lips. Would you?
I would love nothing more than that.
It seems that we are ready for a bargain. Now, if you wish to continue striking terror into those who have disturbed me, then please, I will give you all the information that you need that I can recall. It seems there was multiple groups amassing under one name. They seem to be rather fearful of.
I think before we make any kind of deal, as long as you're offering, I'd like to ask one final question.
Yes, Mr. Torin.
What are you? Really?
She's going to begin to chuckle slightly. Well,
I'm
I
assuming
know
you're
this.
not, based on the chew marks on those bodies. I'm gonna guess that you didn't use those teeth that you're showing us right now.
quite astute, Madam Hera. Quite astute. And thank you, Mr. Torin. As she says that, the image will fade, and 2 massive red eyes, 100 feet down in the blackest area of the chamber, will come open.
What?
And
Poor
the
Eric's face.
the the sauntering, somber voice that you heard before is no longer, and now it's more of a deep roar, grumbling voice.
Oh shit.
Is this satisfactory enough, Mr. Torin?
And this is why I have trust issues.
You're not the
And
only one, Nimbus.
glad my intuition was correct. On the other hand, I'm very upset that my intuition was correct.
He, the creature will laugh, and then begin to slowly step forward, revealing an ancient looking black dragon.
Yes, I'm glad I'm showing my service to her.
Hira looks like she's using every ounce of willpower not to raise her weapon. Because even she realizes that none of us would stand a chance.
Nimbus is slightly more moist than usual.
I will,
Sweating.
And
I think
no,
Boris is slightly more moist than usual too.
and
This isn't Shrek.
Mr. Torin, I
Just
do
saying.
believe, because you have seen through the ruse, I'll give you the honor of knowing my name. Neverim. I'll spell
Good
it for
name.
you.
And I will say this. I don't trust Drow, and I didn't give you my real name. Now that you have given us yours, I will give you mine. It is Zuya.
Zoya.
I'll give another quick bow. It's a pleasure to finally meet you, Nuvarim.
I will put my arm over my chest and do a slight bow.
Welcome to my
Hero will-
chamber. party.
Hira will bow as well, very deeply.
Boris bows and Neil, continuing to offer his service, completely interested, completely enthralled by this black dragon.
I have a question. So do you know much of what goes on outside of this place, or do you not leave often? I know you like to be left alone.
So, from the perspective that you guys have right now, the long neck and large head is really the only thing, is still kind of encased in shadow. You can kind of see his muzzle and his eyes, and a large smile, toothy grin, kind of twinkles in the light that coming off of your torch. I have been here centuries. I know much of what goes on above, especially when it ventures below the surface. You see, these chambers were all connected for a purpose. Those dwarves built many keeps and many passageways to serve as their kingdom. Once again, Besima. However, it's mostly fallen to ruin.
My lady, if I may, I know we've been exchanging information, but I'd like to offer a more personal exchange. If you'd answer a question of mine.
And what do you have to offer?
Anything you'd like.
Anything.
If you can answer my question, I will offer you whatever I am able.
Ask away.
She's gonna kind of glance at her companions, as if she's not sure she wants to ask in front of them. But she eventually will just, she's gonna ask the dragon lady. I don't even know what to call her.
Yes, is the dragon a male or female? Because we're a little confused.
He,
It is a he.
if Kyle's pronouns were correct.
Mm-hmm.
Major Image was a she, but
But
Niverin,
Yes.
she's gonna ask, what happened to Tyr? Is he in danger?
Neverim is going to kind of close his eyes for a moment. The god. Correct? Not a mortal named as a namesake?
No, the god.
Ah,
I've been having some troubling dreams, and I've lost communication. And I'm confused and distressed. I have a really bad feeling. And if he's in trouble, then I need to help him.
I do not know much what happens above. However, I do know, though, that of feelings, intuition. And if your intuition is driving you to believe that there is something amiss, then there might surely be a reason.
Hira looks troubled.
Dragons do speak with wisdom.
And as if to try to give a sense of kind of closing his eyes, there's going to be another shimmer that appears just in the light, and it's going to be a reveal an image. Once again, revealing this.
Ooh. See, this is kind of what I had been thinking from the start. The cults were all...
If you... From my knowledge of my visitors, they seem to be taking orders and commands from someone above with great power who which they fear. If you eradicate these cultists, maybe you will find the answer that leads you to not only a place of peace, but also provide you the answer that you seek.
Hira looks like she very much steels herself. She looks like a woman with a mission now. She's going to thank her greatly and ask her if there's anything she can do for her in return.
The eyes are gonna kind of look over at Boris, and I think your companion, Mr. Petrov, has the correct idea? Extermination.
Blood will flow. Heads will roll.
They
Will
just
exterminating will exterminating these cultists bring me closer to Tyr?
the dragon will kind of tilt its head side to side, and that I am unsure of. However, they are dealing with powers far beyond this plane. So it might restore your connection with him. Or
That's
it
all I needed to
may
know.
or it may bring you to another discovery.
Here basically didn't hear anything after it'll destroy their connection.
That sounds about right.
Head empty. No thought.
Or
No,
is
only-
making
Heard the important part.
No, there is one thought in her head at any given time, and it's Tyr.
You have
Now would be as good a time as any. Uh, 2 out of the 4 or 5 cults we've already dealt with. So I'll kind of tap the trident.
We've recovered 2 of the artifacts. One is with us, one was returned to its rightful owner.
Turn.
But if Tyr is in trouble, then I worry for the artifact we recovered first.
And in exterminating these interlopers, you would be doing me a great service as well. Finally, letting me slumber away, undisturbed.
Well, if that's what you wish, then I suppose we should be leaving soon.
Please. If there's any more information I could fill your minds with, feel free to ask. And do not come back.
She's gonna kind of glance at the others and kind of make a gesture like anybody else want to ask before we leave. This is last chance.
Why do you want to be left alone?
I have walled for many years for my spot here. Mortals and dragons alike have fought me for this spot. For the value underneath this area.
Oh, that was very foolish of them.
It was. Oh, it was. But now
You guard something.
I got many things, Mr. Torin.
Important things.
I do believe so.
I asked this question because I'm curious. I come from the forest not very far from here. If we knew of your existence, I am sure we could help or bring food or bring tribute of sorts.
The cultists are pretty good food. They not.
Well, yes, but the druids are not going to bring dead bodies. But my point is that druids can keep a pretty.
You'd be like offering tribute, basically. Is what
We
you're
would be
saying.
offering. I'm just saying that we can keep a secret, but we could make a pact of sorts. Share information, share company of sorts, just to make it so you don't have to be alone, and make it so you don't have to,
I
that
think
you're
the
not
only
the only
person in the party.
protector of this stuff here, that you're not the only protector of this area. Does that make sense? Do you understand? I don't know if I'm using the correct words.
I'm gonna take a side step away from Zuya.
I do understand, Mr. Zoya, and I appreciate your generosity. However, I will respectfully decline. I have all that I need below here,
Okay.
and I wish nothing more than to return to my slumber.
Is it okay if I make mention that you're here and for us to keep an eye out for people
No.
invading your slumber?
I would prefer that you didn't, sir.
Okay.
The fewer people that I know, or that know that I am here, the fewer people that will come looking.
I was gonna say, I feel like you're going in the opposite direction of what she wants here, Zuya.
Let's see. And that is the opposite direction of what do you want to.
Well, no, my point is that if there's a lookout for people trying to get in,
I don't think if people get in, I think they'll learn pretty quickly not to.
well, that's true, but just trying to be helpful.
I feel like she's been down here long enough that she doesn't need anybody's help.
Oh, you have been more than helpful, Mr. Zuya, and I appreciate you all. Now, and the large head is going to retreat back, and once again, the image of the drow is going to shimmer into place. If you would, I believe it is time for us to depart each other's company.
Actually, I think I have one last question.
Yes, Mr. Nimbus.
Ah. He's gonna kind of like look at Who are you? Torin. I was gonna call you Tadley again. I'm like, that's not his name. He's gonna kind of his gaze kind of like drifts over to Torin, drifts back to the now drow figure, and he's going to say, if one wished to create a sort of passageway between realms, how would one go about doing that?
Tear kind
Safely.
of raises her eyebrows and goes,
Such a fitting question. Once again, an elder drow created those artifacts that your companion so fittingly wields. And each one is linked to a shrine that was built long ago. As steeples of an ancient dwarven kingdom. And those artifacts act as the key. They are all connected to the princes and princess of each plane. They alone can connect the realms. As you saw from what Mr. Torin has told me before, that if all Hydra was able to crash down into your world, or into our world, then it should only be just as simple for you to cross back.
I see. Your wisdom is. I'll have to think on it, if I'm being honest. But thank you. And again, apologies for disrupting your slumber.
It has been a most welcome exchange and interruption. And as she kind of curtsies once again, so long. Good luck.
I wish you a restful slumber.
I was gonna offer a present, a gift.
I'm gonna make myself scarce.
In fact, just skedaddling up that rope real fast.
Thorn and Nimbus climb back up the rope. Boris, you're welcome to leave something in the chamber.
Will be a
I'm
stranger.
gonna leave one of my axes behind as a thank you.
What?
Okay.
Which one?
Yeah, which one?
Marrow sucker.
Oh. Huh. Feels like you named it just yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a while.
Oh yeah.
It's
I
gonna-
would wanted to have the conversation with the dragon to offer it, but yeah, I'm gonna leave it anyway.
If you, or as you set it down in the kind of moonlight, there's a slight chuckle and a booming, thank you. I'll add this to my collection.
I knew he'd like to throw it on the pot.
He's a Durgan. It's a shiny thing.
As the lot of you make your way back up the rope and back on to the surface of what you now know as Rundrith Manor. The moonlight is heavy overhead, indicating that it's well into the evening.
Corbin is shaking.
Let's try to reassemble the wood over the floor and as best as we can with the hole. Maybe plan to come back and put something better in place like I'd offered.
Mm-hmm.
Takes you about an hour to get it done right, and with a little help from the others, so you get it done pretty adequately.
I'm gonna sit back and process the fact that we just talked to a fucking dragon.
And not just any dragon, an
An
ancient.
An ancient black dragon and live to tell about it. And all of you non-evil characters for being very, very okay with it.
Hey man, dragon's a dragon, and I'm kind of stuck in a hole with it.
I mean, I'm not sure there's much we could have done about it. The safest option was to bark our way out.
Yeah, you had.
She didn't seem inclined to hurt us, unless we kept bugging her too much or made an aggressive move.
Fuck that. I was not gonna piss that thing off.
Zuya saw it as a protector of his shit. He wasn't gonna fuck with it. He was offering to protect the damn thing.
Hira saw it as more of an ancient being worthy of respect more than anything.
Totally.
Which might be weird coming from Hira, but like she, this dragon didn't seem to be hurting anybody who didn't deserve it, so she didn't really have any reason to be mad at it.
It's that thing.
If it was really an evil dragon, it would have killed us the instant we walked down there.
Wouldn't go that far. It seems to know a lot about the surface, so. And I doubt that's just from visitors.
Anywho,
I
so
didn't even
shall
know.
we fly to Amphail?
I didn't
Meet
even
with
know
Enclave?
dragons. I didn't even know dragons were still around. I think for the first half of that conversation, I was just in awe.
Yes, but we can't go telling everybody we just met with the dragon.
No, I would never betray her trust like that. I don't want to get eaten. I believe the best thing we can do for her is to respect her wish to be remained alone and exterminate these cultists.
Which is what our plan was to begin with.
Well, I'm a little more motivated now.
Goals aligned for now. Without dealt with, I do think that Zuya has the right idea.
I feel like she could have told me more, but I wasn't about to press.
I'm
She's a
still
fucking dragon.
fairly certain that dragon was a he.
Yeah, he was.
It was a he.
I'm stuck on the drow form. I'm sorry.
Look, I don't blame you.
You keep thinking Nimbus is a girl as well, so it's like.
Listen, Kira's not that great with gender.
Kira's got a pronoun problem.
Yeah,
is-
we could tell.
It is
You're,
current.
you're just
year.
got canceled.
Oops, sorry, Jesse. Oh my goodness, you poor thing.
No, Jazzy.
She ran away to my foot. Nah. I
But
do
the thing,
think Zuya's got the right idea.
I'm frustrated that he wouldn't give me more information, though I know he probably could have.
Oh,
But he did give us
wow.
enough.
Oh.
Not so sure.
Here you
Kick
go.
the dragon while I was trying to sleep.
I am very happy with you.
That's the image.
Damn,
No.
girl.
And then here you guys go. Oh my god, I didn't realize it had a different image.
Oh shit.
Or new dream. Yeah.
Oh fuck me.
Oh shit.
That's a
It's me.
it's a shadow wow.
Oh, it's a black
Holy
dragon.
shit.
It's just wispy.
Not the shadow
Well, it
dragon.
says shadow
yeah.
dragon, yeah.
Yeah, it's a black dragon, which is wispy.
Yeah.
Are we sure nobody had a heart attack down there? Anybody need
Mm.
medical attention?
Thorin had time to figure out something was wrong. I didn't think it was going to be an ancient dragon. I figured it was going to be
I mean,
something
I knew that she was hiding something, but I didn't. First of all, I didn't know
terrestrial.
she was hiding that
Horus had a murder boner.
That was the first surprise. The second surprise was the dragon thing.
So,
Never changed, Boris.
You heard a rather loud sound of something hitting the inside of my cod piece as I realized.
I have greater
exterminate
restoration if I need to cast it on you, Torin.
that'll just make him last longer.
Well, I'm talking about if you had a heart attack or something. Or mass cure wounds, you know that might work for you.
Yeah, that too. I think I'll live.
All right, group. What's next?
Flying to Amphale.
Dead of night.
A very quick and short flight. You begin at almost as soon as you get away from the ruins, you quickly get into what looks like farmland and very outstretched town. Hundreds of feet, maybe even a couple acres, separating each home from each other. Each one eloquently lit with winter solstice decoration. The largest feature is the inn that you fall that as the sun the moon is at your backs and above your head. You begin to soar downwards towards the ground once again, and you do see a two-story building, extravagantly lit. And having passed over this, especially you, Torin, several times, there's much more hustle and bustle in this tavern that you've seen before. There's a lot, or people seem to be really in the spirit of the winter solstice. And as you land close to the outskirts, you kind of parade your hippogriffs and Murderface towards a small empty stable where they all kind of your hippogriffs and Murderface kind of gather together to keep warm as the air around you is beginning to, chill, and a slight dusting of snow begins to fall. And entering the inn, let me go up.
I love not Christmas.
Had to take a sip of my Christmas coffee.
Ship shit.
I shit you not. I have fucking what is it? Gingerbread coffee.
Ooh,
Shit's so good.
that's
That
pleasant.
sounds nice.
It really is. But in Torin, you're the first one to notice the woman standing behind the counter, kind of running back and forth, serving drinks. Almost, and to your left, just as you walk in, just as your the message you received said, is a very stern looking woman waiting in the back table of this inn. What do you want to do?
So you described a stern-looking woman at the back of the inn. It's busy. Is that stern woman by herself?
Yes.
Does she look common?
No. She is clad in the I'm sorry, I should have said this. She is clad in the in a emerald cloak with kind of vibrant purples and blues at top, and a long flowing robe, it seems. Seemingly,
A member of the Emerald Enclave.
yes.
Well, we came here to respond to a call, so Torin's going to respond to a call. Or Enclave, not emissary.
So, the five of you quickly sitting down at the table. She's going to look up and kind of glance over at Torrens. I figured that was you when I saw you flying over. And you're gonna recognize this woman as one of the Emerald Enclave emissaries that frequents the El Torchel Academy, kind of acting as the messenger between them. And do you remember me?
I'm having trouble putting a name to a face.
Marnie? Marnie?
Yeah,
Am
with
I?
an R.
Yeah.
Huh. Marnie. Now that is a name I haven't heard in a while. I was wondering how you were able to send a message to me.
Well, it's not every day that you see a formerly, if I have it right, expelled student of the academy flying
Sore
above you.
subject, but we can skip over that part.
I apologize.
I'm kidding. But no,
Expelled?
you are correct. Story for a different time.
Well,
I admit it. I've never completed any formal training. I'm a fraud. Just kidding. I'm a more competent wizard than anyone at that academy.
I believe it.
As do I. I always saw potential
Almost.
with you. So, I do really appreciate you coming and meeting me at this hour, though. I do apologize for the late message, but when I saw you fly, or saw you and your party flying over, I had to reach out. You see, we had another emissary traveling the long road several weeks ago, and he mentioned of a party of robed figures moving up towards that abandoned manor just up the road. And
Yeah.
we've never seen anyone leave or never seen anyone enter the manor before.
They probably got themselves killed or starved to death or
Lost.
any other manner of horrible, horrible things that could happen to someone when they poke around in ruins that they're not supposed to be in.
Well, the Enclave does. It's a very quiet subject, but we do know of an entity in underneath the ruins of that manor. And we're in fear. No, the Enclave.
What?
The Enclave.
Oh, no, I
No.
was saying do tell.
Ah, I thought you said El Tortle.
No. Sorry.
And we're quite concerned that those robed figures might have struck up an allegiance with said entity.
For my clarity, she's talking about the mayor that we just went to, right?
Yes.
Okay. Nimbus is definitely like giggling in the background, then like struck up a deal. Fuck out of here.
She's gonna kind of glance over at Nimbus and I'm sorry, is there something in my teeth? I did just have dinner.
No, he's just drunk.
As always, let the merriments commence, of course. He's gonna fucking just get up and just start dancing.
Wait, we're talking about random rogue figures, like the ones I like to cut their heads off of when we see them. Were those the ones that we just killed earlier tonight? I wink at Torrent.
Hey, I'm gonna shoot some glances around the table. I don't know what everyone else wants to do.
And as you guys are kind of exchanging glances, she's gonna look over at Zuya and these robed figures seemed very much like the ones that we sent you out, or requested you to come out of your circle for.
Because that's what they were. They've been taken care of.
Taken care of? As in... How do you mean?
Their lives were ended. We
Oh.
found their dead bodies.
Oh. So it seems...
He found them after I was done killing them, is what he meant to say.
and of the entity underneath?
That's not something we have to worry about.
A huge wave of relief crosses her face.
As long as you leave that area alone, you don't have anything to worry about.
We've been keeping that area quiet for quite some time.
Well, I would continue to do so.
That's why it was quite astonishing to see a group that large venture that direction, and why one of our emissary reached out to me to find someone to investigate and possibly negotiate a different situation if necessary, but it seems as if it's already been taken care of, as you say.
It has. There's nothing to worry about. The manor is. I would leave it off limits for everybody's sake, though. Because you know how these tales of entities and ghosts and things like that can draw people. I think it's better to just keep it off limits for everyone.
If you need to, you could even change the name of the entity to Boris.
Yes.
Hmm.
Boris the Manslayer. Eats children, um, splits men in two, make up things that Boris will do to you if you're bad, that kind of thing.
I want my
He
skull
killed
thrown.
Yeah, he killed all the cultists when they came to make allies, and he killed them all, and he doesn't want to be disturbed. He's 7 feet tall and hates people. I don't know.
She's gonna kind of smile and in the spirit of the times, wears a dirty red suit and has a matty beard and sharp teeth and stuffs children into his sack, right?
Of course.
Totally.
Yeah.
That sounds perfect.
I love this idea. Well, I suppose what I asked you to come here for is already taken care of. Kudos
We were
to
on the
you.
ball before we were even here to see you.
She just smiles and looks at the two, or at Zuya and Torin, like, and there's a reason why I knew I could trust you.
Yeah.
Well, lodging has already been taken care of. If you guys want to rest up for the evening and continue on your journey of whichever.
That sounds perfect. We were gonna camp outside, but we have to make it all the way to the circle, so might as well
Hey, a roof over
stay
our
here.
heads is always better than being outside.
Totally better. Well, I like it outside, but a roof is good.
Salem bless you, Marty. You're too good to us.
I still might sleep outside, but a roof for them is perfect.
She's gonna when you mention that, she's gonna look at you and make sure you wear your furs, and she's gonna give you a slight wink.
You know I will. And he winks back.
So, completely satisfied with how everything, or with this conversation, she's going to leave some money on the table for drinks and such, any kind of festivities, and smile at Nimbus dancing away with the townsfolk, and head up to a room that she's already accommodated for herself, leaving the four of you at the table and Nimbus being jovial as ever.
Hell yeah, man.
Hero will I don't know if we already ordered some food, but after Kira eats, she'll pretty much stay silent throughout the whole meal and quietly retreat to her room after.
Okay. So
Orin's gonna take some drinks.
Torin looks like he needs some drinks.
He met a dragon, bro.
Boris is eating some very very undercooked meat as
What-
he's ordering as he orders continuously.
Boris, are
And,
you eating like that for your own pleasure, or are you trying to keep leftovers for Murderface?
Well, a little of both. I mean, Murphy's might get a little. I like to bring him some food, but I'm hungry.
Just curious.
I mean, I've only got 2 steaks tucked away for him.
Right?
He's a growing boy.
well,
Drink time.
after you drink, and after several hours of drinking, and or is there any kind of conversation? Or I'm sorry, you guys go ahead. Let me know what you're doing, what you would like to do, and when you would like to do it.
I figure Zui will be eating some of that meat, hopefully some wild game, because that's what he sticks to.
Like I said, Hero will be very quiet and contemplative eating her meal, and then eventually she'll retire.
So Torin, well, at least Marnie believed that there's no entity there anymore, or at all. Can't believe that worked.
Really makes me wonder what would have happened if we had talked to her first.
Yeah.
Probably not good.
No, we
I
would
think
have
things
definitely
went
went in there
very-
with a different mindset.
Yeah.
Now I have to live with the rest of my life knowing that there's a ancient black dragon right underneath this cute little town.
At least
But
we know
but
it just
they'll
wants
never
to
know.
sleep. It doesn't want to do anything.
No one can ever know.
Yeah. That is a shame. I know the kids back in the village would love to hear the tale of how we met a dragon.
Fuck them
See all
kids.
their what the hell? You
Go
wouldn't
on.
want to see all their faces light up hearing that how we met a dragon and lived to tell the tale about it.
Well, technically, we could still
I
tell that tale if we wanted to. I am
mean,
a little upset that I wasn't able to take a look at whatever it was guarding, though. Oh, I'm sure it was worth it.
You're welcome to go back.
By
Yeah, but
yourself.
I
Stay in
don't
your room,
think
Hero.
she would be very happy if we went back. Or maybe we could convince her to let us see some of its stuff she's guarding.
I don't know. She seemed to like Torin.
Everyone likes Torin.
No, I think she liked all of us, so she definitely liked Torin. She liked Boris. She was very nice to me. Nimbus, she kind of talked to. Hera, I don't know. Oh, Hera, are you upstairs right now, Hera?
Well, she
Mhm.
would have stayed for the meal, but
Yeah.
depending how long it took to eat, she'll eventually leave.
We'll say probably about this point you've already made your way upstairs.
Okay. So anything I say from this point is Kaylee talking.
Okay.
Nimbus is taking a
Just
break
making my
from his
just
debt.
making my smart ass commentary.
Yep. I don't know. Would we dare venture there again? Just to see what she's hiding?
Absolutely not. She said she wants to be left alone. She ate those other guys. We're lucky she didn't eat us.
If anyone
Torin.
here is inclined to go back and visit Nuvarim, I'm sure it would be Boris.
yeah, I think I'd be the only one that would actually want to go back. To be honest.
And he is more than welcome to do that.
I feel like he would find it a great honor to die by that dragon's hands.
Yeah, for sure. But I'd rather serve that dragon.
Honestly, I'm very interested in talking with that dragon.
I don't think we're ever gonna see that dragon again,
Probably not.
if we're lucky.
Lucky.
Yeah, you probably don't want to.
Thorin's gonna excuse himself and stumble up to his room. We've got a big day tomorrow.
Of flying?
Always vigilant, Zuya.
That's why I don't drink. Silly humans.
Silly elf.
Is there a bathing area?
There is, but it's not. It's kind of ramshackled and run down. But it is towards the back of the establishment.
Why am I a silly elf? Because I don't drink and get drunk?
Yes.
Okay.
Thought it was a matter if you couldn't get drunk.
That is
I don't
true.
know.
I guess one
But-
of these days we'll have to test out your tolerance.
I don't know. What is an elf's tolerance?
Pretty fucking high.
I'd imagine so, yeah.
Yeah, I don't, yeah.
But yes, Nimbus, you are able to quickly find a bathing area. And like I said, it's kind of not as glamorous as the one in Red Larch has been built up to be, but it does serve its purpose.
Say water is water, man.
Water is warm in this area.
Especially for Nimbus.
I've upgraded myself from moist boy to wet boy.
Haha.
Okay.
He's gone from moist boy to wet man.
Oh
No,
no.
wet lad.
Oh.
Moist boy to wet lad.
No, I was thinking, like a sidekick to superhero.
Yeah, I literally was just about to say, it's like, that's your superhero name, Wet Man.
Oh no.
The imagery.
Thorin.
Yeah, he'd kind of just like bathe himself. Of course, if it was empty, if like no one was there, because if not, he'd be like, guess I'm not showering today.
You're
It,
like,
it
That
is
extra,
it is empty at this point. Most of the townsfolk typically don't use this area. That's why it's not as well kept.
Understandable.
Really?
It's perfect for him then.
He does laps in the little bathtub.
He makes little figurines, has them like jumping above the water, like little dolphins or whatever. Crabs.
But yes, you guys are able to get a restful 8 hours of sleep. And awaking once again to a bright morning. Zulia, you slept outside?
Yes, preferably up in a tree so I could look at anything coming
Okay, so
after my 4 hours of trance.
perfect. So shifting into a snow owl to keep warm, you kind of come out of your trance early morning as the sun begins to rise, and you have to shake off a layer of snow and powder. And as the rest of you kind of like reawaken into the new morning, the windows are kind of iced over, and there is a nice sheet of snow on the ground in this area. And seeing as it's a little late for you guys, I've got another hour before midnight. But seeing as it's a little late for you guys, we can call it here or continue.
I'm gonna have to call it.
I'm sorry, everyone. I have to wake up in the morning.
Bastion!
All right. Well, give
He's like,
me
I'm out of here.
1 second.
This session was awesome.
Mom, let me go.
Just give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
This session was awesome.
Yes, it was. I
Thank you
love
guys so
roleplay
much
like this
for
stuff
coming out
always.
to another evening of
Sorry, fucking dragon.
Rise of the Rune Lords, and wrong title. Princes of the Apocalypse, and I greatly appreciate you coming by. We will see you next week. Hopefully we'll be able to start a little bit earlier, but that was on me. So, but thank you.